Hey guys, you're watching Boondockin' with Dennis. 29 degrees this morning. Wind chill is 11. The winds are 14 with gusts up to 23. Came up on Rockport Harbor. I was curious if we were going to have a sunrise or not today. It's a lot of cloud cover, and as of yesterday, there wasn't supposed to be. You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows, but you do need one to give you the wrong weather report. I turned my truck on a few times last night to get warmed up and finally gave up around 5:30 this morning and left my little parking spot. Did a little bit of filming, went to McDonald's at 6:20 to get coffee. They were not open, probably because of the cold. So I went to Sky Donuts to get coffee, and they were not open, probably because of the cold. And I gave up on coffee, and I said, I'm going to go to Jack's Market, get a Monster. Went to Jack's Market. They weren't open, probably because of the cold, probably because I don't think they open until 8 a.m. So I went to Rockport Donuts to get a Monster. They were all out of Monsters, didn't have any of the flavors. So I got coffee. Kind of a quest reversed completion. And now I'm just looking at Rockport Harbor and, of course, Rockport Beach. I said, Rockport Beach, thank you. This freaking production team is just wearing me out. I'm a little giddy. It was, it was some cold sleeping last night, but, I think I turned the truck on 3 times last night and let it run for about 15 minutes till I was actually hot and then I could get a couple hours sleep. So hopefully today the sun will shine. I'm going to go visit Steve and Sharon. Good morning, Cormorants. Doing Cormorant stuff. And go see what they're up to today. I don't think we're going to get an official sunrise today, guys. But that's okay. We'll still have some horrible dad jokes, and I'll try to spot us something along the way. Let's count that as a sunrise. Or maybe that. Yeah, let's call this official sunrise. Well, the sun is struggling to come out. The wind is still blowing and it's still cold. But that doesn't mean we can't have some horrible, horrible dad jokes. I didn't like my beard at first, but it grew on me. It grew on me. Oh, painful. Look at this. Look at this. I believe this is the street runoff where it drains into Aransas Bay, and they kind of put these little traps, if you will, here. But that's initially why I stopped here. Well, that was fun. What did the mama cow say to the baby cow? What did the mama cow say to the baby cow? It's past your bedtime. Pasture. It's past your bedtime. Oh, we might have to switch from dad jokes to mom jokes. Here's one that's just horrible, and I don't recommend this. How do you make a Swiss roll? You push them down the mountain. That's horrible. Don't laugh at that one. Well, now we know it's 8 o'clock. Right behind the Rockport Center for the Arts on Water Street, there's one of these historic informational, I don't know what to call them, displays. Aransas County Historical Commission signs. They usually have some really good information. The Packeries of Rockport. After the Civil War, Rockport became an important cattle ranching and shipping center. In 1866, James Doughty, T.H. Mathis, and John M. Mathis constructed cattle pens with a long wharf that extended out into Aransas Bay from Rocky Point, the landmark from which Rockport gets its name. Cattle were shipped to New Orleans on the Morgan Line. The painting below, the last to load, illustrates the first shipment from Rocky Point in 1866. Initially, packeries were built nearby to render hides and tallow. The packeries consisted of holding pens, a main rendering barn, skinning building, and pier. Cattle were driven on foot from the nearby ranches. The hides, hooves, horns, and tallow were shipped east to make fine leather, buttons, glue, candles, and soap. Carcasses were usually discarded. I wonder how they were discarded. In 1871, an ice plant was added to one of the packeries, which allowed the preservation of meat. Rockport packeries included W.A. Cushman, Dougherty and Clark, West and Weiser Company, William S. Hall, Coleman, Mathis and Fulton, J.W. Baylor and Company, American Beef Packery, and Butler and Company. The local packing industry declined after 1875 as railroads pushed into Texas to allow shipment of cattle directly to giant packing plants in St. Louis and Chicago. Yet, as late as 1880, the Rockport packeries handled 93% of the Texas packed beef production. Wow. That's pretty impressive. 93% of Texas packed beef production. This must have been a booming little road. By 1890, most packeries had switched to butchering sea turtles, and Rockport handled almost the entire Gulf production. Most prized were the green turtles, and 85% of all Texas turtle nets were in Aransas Bay. By the late 1890s, the turtle population had diminished, and the industry folded. Remnants of turtle capture pens can still be found along Rockport's Bay shores. And I've mentioned this in other videos. I've talked to people that have lived here their whole lives. They have never seen a live turtle in Aransas Bay. And the reason for that is turtles come back to where they were born and lay their eggs. If we've wiped out all the turtles in the bay, and this sign kind of confirms that, they're not coming back. You can see them over in Port Aransas. You can see them on Padre Island and Mustang Island and St. Joe's Island, which you can see from here. but they'll never be in Aransas Bay ever again. And that's really sad.